Hello people. We are in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic and my diary is full of commitments, like yours I suspect, which have been crossed out. In fact, as I said to Jim Jordan a while back, my diary, at least until September, is as empty as a hermit's address book. My name is David Halls and I am talking to you from Salisbury in the UK. I am the Director of Music at Salisbury Cathedral, having been appointed to the post in 2005. Before that, from 1985, I was assistant organist at the same place, so you can work out that I have been here for 35 years. I came to Salisbury more or less straight from Oxford University and was a young man of 22 with, incidentally, a similar hairstyle to the one you see on display today. My story actually starts in Yorkshire, England, where my wife and I met when we were 15 and at school together. Talking of her, she is a professional accountant in Salisbury and we are blessed with 5 children between the ages of 15 and 26. We also have 2 other children, 2 cats called Thea and Luna. I am speaking to you from the organist's house next to the cathedral, a largely 17th century house which has been handed down successively by my predecessors, although one part of it dates from the 13th century. There used to be an army of mice living with us, but the 2 cats have been assigned to culling duties for several years now, so mice numbers, according to the latest census, are 0. I started learning the organ when I was still at school and almost entirely because my girlfriend, yes, now my wife, played the organ too. We also sang together in a church choir in a small church outside Harrogate, which is just north of Leeds, and indeed we were married there in 1986. But that's enough about me and mine. I'll give you some insights about what makes me get up in the morning later. Let me tell you about Paraclete Press and my music. Firstly, I have always felt the need to compose, yet have never really had the time to devote to it wholeheartedly. My role at Salisbury Cathedral leaves little time for composing, although I am often seen during holidays with a pencil and some manuscript paper in my hand. As a vacation composer, I feel an affinity with Gustav Mahler, who did much the same. I wish my music was half as good as his, though. Secondly, Paraclete was responsible for my first published works, and for that, I am truly grateful. Paraclete publishes quite a volume of my output of church music, both choral and for organ, and anybody who knows me or my music will, I hope, discern various themes. I was brought up in a traditional way, and the music degree at Oxford simply reinforced that. It means that I like a strong melody, supported by clean harmony, perhaps with a few purple notes strewn carelessly here and there. I also admire pure classical forms, especially when writing for the organ, such as fugue and chorale prelude. I enjoy writing for voices, as I have a lot of experience of directing choral music, and on the other hand, I like writing music without words, pure music if you like, without the extra layer of a text. Being a fairly traditional musician at a medieval cathedral, it is no surprise that there is an element of plainsong present in many of my works. I think a lot about a piece of music before I write anything down, and much of my composing is done away from the keyboard. That is why sitting in an airport departure lounge for several hours is not a huge burden for me, providing I have my manuscript paper and a pencil. I am happy writing to commission and also just writing what I want to write. My tastes in music are fairly wide-ranging, anything from plain song to the present day, with a nod to Count Basie and Oscar Peterson on my travels. I love Bach and Brahms in particular. I spent a long time studying the music of American composers such as Bernstein, Copland and Hansen, and have always felt an affinity with my compatriots such as Vaughan Williams, Walton and Elgar. I wish I could spend more time composing, as I like the challenge of completing a work to a satisfying conclusion and trying to make it fun to perform and pleasant to listen to. Well, there you have it. The David Hall's philosophy about creativity. As promised, some lighter business now. I enjoy soccer, cricket, cycling, beer drinking, fine wines, cooking, reading and watching films. Yet, the most important things to me are my family, my work and my friends. I get up every morning attempting to deal with all three. I feel privileged to be doing the job I love, and I hope that my small part in the glorious English cathedral tradition of worshipping God through liturgy and music will prove a worthy legacy. In the meantime, the entire global community has had an especially bad experience with this pandemic, and I close by wishing all of you good health and fortune in everything you do. Goodbye.